Welcome back to the Q. My name is Lisa Marrone. I'm the Director of Business Development for the town of Chelmsford, and I'm here with my steadfast co-hosts, Jen and Karen. Hi.
Hi, everybody.
And colleagues. And today's episode is with a agency called MassHire, and they're located in Lowell and serve the greater community of Lowell, and we'll be learning a lot about them and all of the services they provide. Also with us is Executive Director for the Greater Lowell Workforce Development Board, and we'll learn how they collaborate together in support of employers, job seekers, lots of great information. So I just want to start off with that. And why don't I just hand it over to Shannon, and she can introduce herself, and then we'll talk with Shaun and Peter, and then we'll just get going with all of our questions.
Okay, so thank you for having me, Lisa. I'm Shannon Norton. I'm the Executive Director of the MassHire Lowell Career Center, and we are the, some people refer to us as the American Job Center, and we are the comprehensive job center for the Greater Lowell area, as you said. So.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Shannon, for all that you do. I know that we overlap networking and services and business support all the time. And Shaun and I have been in these networking Zoom meetings off and on over the last several months. So Shaun, if you could just talk a little bit about how your role is connected.
Sure. So hi, I'm Shaun McCarthy. I'm the MassHire Lowell Career Center Business Services Manager. And we have a team of three business service reps that serve the businesses in the greater Lowell region. So we help people post their jobs, connect job seeker candidates, and other things as well.
Lots of things I know we'll talk about more. And Peter, can you chat a little bit about the Workforce Development Board and how that connects?
Sure. Thank you for having me. My name is Peter Farkas. I'm the Executive Director of the MassHire Greater Lowell Workforce Board. So in the Commonwealth, there are 16 workforce regions, of which Shannon and Shaun and I work in the Greater Lowell region. And the Workforce Board role is kind of a convener to strategize about what are the best resources, services to be provided to both the job seekers and businesses in the region. So it's a lot of developing partnerships with business development, economic development, our community colleges, our employers, to best serve, as I said, the employers and the job seekers in the region.
And I know, Peter, that you do also administer grants and things that come down from the federal level to help that kind of infiltrate into the local workforce here. I've been connected with MassHire for several years, and just I know a little bit of the background. But why don't I hand it over to Karen, because I know she's always got questions lined up in depth and just raring to go. So Karen, let's hear it.
Hi guys, thank you for joining us today. I just want to say that you are my recruiting dream come true. I'm so happy to have the three of you to pick your brains. I'm a small business owner in Chelmsford, and I am the owner of Visiting Angels, and we do senior home care. And we are always on the lookout for caregivers. I know we have a relationship with MassHire prior to the pandemic. I know that a lot of businesses are really struggling to hire as the state opens up. We're talking about restaurants, we're talking about hotels, businesses that really want to get going again. And the need for senior home care is greater than ever and growing every day. So please, all of you, tell me, as an employer, what can I do to get the word out to MassHire and the people looking for work that we are hiring?
Well, I guess I'll take that one. So there's many ways you can do that. Number one, usually our first point of contact when we're not doing outreach, when our business service representatives aren't outreaching in the community, is our website. So number one, MassHireLowellCC.com. And when you get there, there's a few tabs. Under the employer tab shows all the services we offer, also for job seekers. But on the contact page, you'll find our contact information. But to reach out to us, you can call our line at 978-458-2503, or you can email us at businessservices@masshirelowellcc.com. And when that happens, one of our staff will reach out to you probably day of, and connect with you and learn about what your needs are. There's also another option that you can post a job on our site, and similar circumstance, you post a job on our website and we reach out to you day of or the next day, just to follow up with you, check in on some of the some of the requirements of the job, make sure we have all the information that we need. And then after the first 24-hour period, which is open to U.S. veterans only, they get first access to that. Then we post it into our system, and after that, a lot of eyes on it. So the post a job website, the link is, well, that's kind of hard, but it's a little longer for me to say. But you can find that on our site and just post. Be easy, very easy form to fill out. So, that's how a lot of companies have been doing it. They've been posting a job on the site, and then we get back to them the next day and we try to connect it to job seekers.
And I think when you post something, does it go to all the MassHire centers or just the greater Lowell? I think there's some toggles there that can be worked, right?
Yeah, so once we post it into our system, any customer that's using the Mass Job Quest can see it. And so, what ends up really happening is kind of the regional jobs. So, the people that would see it were the customers that are, going to obviously our site, but also in the MassHire Merrimack Valley, probably Metro Southwest. That's kind of the other side of us. So, so a lot of regions see it, and if customers are willing to make the drive out to Chelmsford, then they would apply.
Yeah.
So pretty easy.
And that's one aspect of what you do. That's just one of the countless number of services that you do. And I think Jen Melanson, she'll share a little bit about what she does, but I think also there's another great overloop here, how this system works amongst all of us. So, Jen, can you share a little bit of how you support and serve the community?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm the Community Services Coordinator for the town of Chelmsford. So my role here is to connect our residents with services that they may need, in the social services realm. And I'm also a social worker as well. So, I periodically work with individuals who are looking for jobs. And so if I had somebody that, might need a job, where would I send them to look with MassHire? And then what could the individual expect to happen for next steps if they were to, find something on your website or even speak with someone at MassHire?
Yeah, so they can call that same number that Shaun mentioned. That's our main number. They can also go to the website. There's a lot of information on the website. Usually what happens is people get enrolled into our orientation. We have a couple of them a week, so they can get in really quickly. Once they're in the orientation, they can become a member, and then they can request to meet with a career advisor. Most of our career advisors are certified professional resume writers. They're, very seasoned. They know this inside and out, and they can help with whatever the person needs. If the person needs training, if the person just needs, to be referred to some of our webinars. Our webinars are really popular. They are free and they are available to anyone. You actually don't have to be a member to attend the webinars. So I would encourage people to go to our website and look at the events page and check out those webinars. They're, like I said, very, very popular. And we also have on-demand webinars. So there's several webinars that you can just click on and watch whenever you want. So that's some of what we have to do. We also have services for young adults. We'll be opening up a young adult career center to serve 15 to 24-year-olds. So young people that are in school and also that are out of school. And, the Workforce Board is very involved in our youth programs. So if Pete wants to talk as well about those programs or what he does.
Sure. So we have a grant through the state that works with our local high schools, of which we're starting to work with Chelmsford High, where we go into the high schools and help students find, their first job, help with the interviewing, resume development, and that's actually going into the schools. So this past year, obviously with COVID, that didn't happen, but starting, in September, we will be going back to the schools, and that's not just Chelmsford; it's pretty much all the regional schools in the district. If I could just loop back to Karen's point earlier. So at the workforce board level, we try to identify like which industry should we be focusing on. So as a region, 3 have kind of bubbled up. It doesn't mean we focus exclusively on them, but healthcare is one of them. So it's healthcare, manufacturing, and information technology. And related to healthcare, we're aware, this is even pre-COVID, the hiring needs currently and in the future are pretty drastic, to be honest. And as a result, we've started the formation of a healthcare hub, which is receives a little bit of state funding to get it going. And initially, we're going to be training about 15 people as CNAs or MAs in Greater Lowell to start off. And this is also, so we are aware of it. This is an issue, and that's not, we understand that's not going to solve, all your needs as employers within healthcare, but it's a start. And as a consortium, this is our first round of grant funding, and we hope to grow the consortium in years to come. So I just wanted to add that because I think it's relevant to your need.
Mm-hmm.
That's
You
great.
mentioned-
Thank you.
You
Go ahead,
mentioned, Pete, about the pandemic and when Shannon was talking about the services that you offer to job seekers, I was wondering how the pandemic has impacted those services and whether or not you're doing any in-person work or if it's virtual. So maybe you could talk about that a little bit.
Right now, it's virtual. We're not seeing people. We will be seeing people starting the summer by appointment, and then at some point we will get back to normal where people can just walk in. The issue has been around, as we all know, there's been many issues with unemployment, and there's still thousands of people that have outstanding issues with their claims. And what happens is they get frustrated. They can't get through on the phone. They can't figure out the website, and then they'll come down to the career centers. So we just don't have the staff to handle the volume. So we're taking steps to gradually reopen, and we want to make sure that we are aligned with our other career centers in the region. So we all open at the same time. But we've been serving, we served over 1,700 job seekers this year, over 370 businesses, throughout the COVID. So, almost 4,000 people went through our workshops or webinars. So, we've been very, very busy this whole year. And, going from a 3% unemployment rate to at one point it was around 17%. Now, it's what, Pete, like around 6%, well, a little less than 6% unemployment rate for the region. So it's still high compared to what it was pre-pandemic.
Definitely. So could you just rattle off the communities that you serve? I know it's a large volume. I know that I've been trying to be more assertive in connecting and layering the resources in for everything. We've got so much going on in Chelmsford regarding workforce development, and I've been pretty much, I bet you Shaun's inbox is just Lisa Marrone, all coming in on messages. But if you could just share a little bit of the communities you serve and talk briefly, because we're going to run out of time. We got about 10 minutes left, but if you could talk a little bit about the hot jobs list that comes out every Monday.
So I have the list in front of me of the community.
Okay.
So maybe that's easy. So Billerica, Chelmsford, Dragut, Dunstable, Lowell, Tewksbury, Tingsboro, and Westford is considered our region for
It's pretty
Greater Lowell.
large. That's a lot. And the hot jobs list that comes out, is that just focused on each MassHire region? Is that right?
Yeah, I think it's more closer in proximity to Greater Lowell. So those are all the jobs that are coming through us and then being posted close by, in driving range. But yeah, those are all essentially all newer jobs that have come through. So within the last 2 weeks, pretty much.
And if I needed to, could you sort that by jobs in Chelmsford that are on public transportation or by Chelmsford employers? if we wanted to try to provide more assistance with that?
Yeah, we probably, I don't know if we could do it by public transportation, but we could definitely do it by location. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And could you explain a little bit about what One Stop is? What is a one-stop center, and how is that different than the other centers that are available?
Yeah, so the MassHire network is, as I mentioned at the very beginning, there's 16 workforce regions. There's at least one-stop career center in each region. So there's a network. So wherever you are in the Commonwealth, you're near a workforce board and a career center.
Okay.
So in terms of one stop, it's referring back to, we have a dual customer, both the job seeker and the businesses. So when you come into a career center, they do a great job triaging, like, what's the best services for you that are available. There's a lot of different funding sources that we go after, and that's kind of the board's role, is going after specific grants that would work best for the populations in Greater Lowell. So it's like, 20 different grants that potentially people would be eligible for based off of their situation, whether they're a youth, have a disability, a mature worker, enrolled in high school. We have a grant working with the Middlesex Sheriff's Office. So there's a variety of services. And I'll let Shaun talk about on the business service side, but the one stop is just the terminology that when you come to the career center, there's a variety of different resources and what's best for you, because everyone's in a different stage of their job search.
Plus, we also have partners that are co-located here. So Mass Rehab, Mass Commission for the Blind, Job Corps, which is a program for young adults. We have the Senior Employment Operation Able. So we have various partners, DTA, Department of Transitional Assistance. So, that's the meaning, you can get all these services in one place, because it's not just about the job, it's about all those support systems that make it easier for you to stay employed.
Yeah, like case management type.
Yeah, and there's referrals going back and forth between agencies. So if someone's receiving food stamps from DTA and DTA says that, hey, you're looking for a job, then they'll refer them to the career center, or vice versa. That's just an example. So we have great connections with our public partners. I think more so than other regions. It's a tight connection where everyone is involved, and it's all for the benefit of the people.
It's excellent. I know, everything just is so located within each other that we're able to really maximize the resource and to help those that we're here for in our network. And speaking of, I know I've been connecting with Shaun more recently, because as we lift and recover from the pandemic, we're talking about job fairs. I'm very anxious to get going on a job fair when that timing is appropriate, and to also layer in, we're working on age-friendly Chelmsford, and I'm familiar with Operation Able. And so it's such a, we're so eager to get started in the work that we're each doing as we see the announcements of, the masking and the, reopening and things. We just want to be really ready for when we can just get back to where we were at before. So, but any other questions from anyone? I still have my list going, but I want to give you an opportunity. Any other questions from Jen or Karen before we start hearing that wrap up music start playing?
I don't have a question specifically, but Peter, I just want to say thank you very much for talking about that training, that you're going to be training 15 CNAs for the future. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but every single person who's trained really helps the situation. And Shannon, I'm really glad that you mentioned that you're going to be opening up soon, because job fairs will be really helpful. In-person job fairs. I know we are posted on the website, but there's nothing better than meeting someone face to face and getting information to them and from them. So I just want to thank you guys for all you're doing, and I'm looking forward to your numbers of unemployed decreasing quickly.
Yeah, such an important organization doing really great work in the community. So thank you for all that you do.
And I think each of us are coming in contact with people that are learning so much through the, through this process of, where can they find help? I know that Peter has been involved in Workforce Development Guide that we're preparing, and I know that that will include MassHire directly. Middlesex 3 Coalition, of which Chelmsford is a partner. They're developing a workforce guide that will help employers at any level, whether they have a storefront shop with 3 people or they're running a machine shop with 30 people. There'll be a collective area of where to find all these resources, because if you go to the MassHire website and you just start clicking around, I know I've taken a few of those webinars in there just to give myself a refresher on LinkedIn and other, there's all kinds of training opportunities. And if you're looking to do maybe a career change, maybe get into manufacturing or other things, or healthcare, these are the places to connect with your agencies to, make those successful transitions happen. And it's a matter of getting that message out and into the community. So that's the goal of our episode today, to start to get, better prepared in this messaging and out into the network. And I know that I've been promoting this in the business community and including it in my Welcome Business Kit. I've been updating information in there about your services. And soon we'll be having in-person ribbon cuttings with those big ceremonial scissors back there. And then we can all get together and meet these employers that are opening up and getting ready to hire and just, provide as much support as we can for everyone to do well. So I think that's kind of it for today. I appreciate everyone's time. Thank you very much for coming together. And I know that we'll all be interacting and working together continually. So perhaps we can regroup this in the fall and see where we're at, and maybe even add a few photos of ribbon cuttings and job fairs. So thank you so much. I really appreciate everything.